That's actually a difficult question. So in the beginning of my journey, it was a little bit, so I tried all the meat dishes here and all of them are very, very delicious. But overall, because in Germany I'm most of the time vegan or vegetarian, I also prefer this kind of cuisines. It was a little bit difficult for me in Esfahan.
Hello.
Hi Hamid.
Hi. Welcome.
Welcome, yeah. I'm nervous to be here a little bit. It's nice.
Yeah, I can see.
I like to take my time for you.
What's your name?
My name is Tony.
Yeah, and where are you from?
I'm from Germany, Berlin, but I grown up in the north at the wonderful Baltic Sea of Germany.
Cool. So maybe can you say a little bit about your trip?
Yes,
How many days? So this is your second time in Iran. You were here like 3 months ago.
yes.
And before that also you were traveling in Iran for 3 months,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
So this is your second time. So you should know Iran very well, the people, everything, and you have even more friends than me in Iran. So can you just say how you decide to come to Iran and you coming first time from which border?
Yes.
Yeah, can you say
So
that?
I so this journey I started in January in Stuttgart, where my father and my brother are living. And I had this idea to hitchhike all the way from Germany to India. And actually, Iran was originally not on my travel plan because I wanted originally travel through the Stan countries. But I was very lucky that I met in March a Russian guy named Timo from Moscow. And we decided to travel together. So we traveled all the way through Turkey and ended up in Georgia and Armenia. And then he asked me, like, Tony, you are sure you don't want to go to Iran? I had so many good stories about Iran. And I heard already very good stories too. But it was very interesting from going from Azerbaijan to Turkmenistan and then all those Stan countries that I decided to go with him actually to Iran. And from the first day on, when I crossed the border from Armenia to Tabriz, I was like shocked in a very positive way how amazing Iran is. So Tabriz is a very wonderful city, and I was very happy to see that place. And after that, I traveled to Tehran and came finally to Isfahan. And I was so happy to be here. When I saw this city, I was like, yeah, that's it. And I mean, in the end, I stayed so long here, and we traveled from Esfahan to Shiraz and came back to Esfahan. We traveled from Esfahan to Bishr Waterfall and Ahvaz and Desful, and we came back to Esfahan. And we traveled to Yazd and Kerman, and we came back to Esfahan. Like Esfahan was always our base, and we liked
Yeah.
it so much here because of the people, because of you and everyone else we met, that it was such a pleasure to stay here. And that's why it was so hard that we, after 2 months, we said we have to leave finally Iran. So we traveled from Esfahan down to Bandar Abbas, down to the islands, to Kazim and Hormuz Island, and then find our way all the way, hitchhiked all the way through the desert, to the Lut Desert, to Mashhad, and went to Rasht and Lahijan, and came back to Mashhad. And then it was actually the time after 3 months that we leave Iran, and it was so hard leaving Iran, because leaving the people we know behind, leaving this wonderful country behind, but we were also very exciting to travel further. And then we traveled more. We find our way to Afghanistan and Pakistan, And then finally I decided to go back home to Germany, and I decided to also hitchhike on my way back. And I was so happy that I made this decision, because it was for me the opportunity to come back to Iran and see all those wonderful places now and visit all my friends here. And I'm so happy to be back. I'm now back 6 days, and it's such a pleasure to be here. And yeah, it's a wonderful experience.
Yeah, actually, we are really happy also to see you again.
Thank you.
You're welcome. For sure, Isfahan is your favorite city. So, what is the other city like after Isfahan? Which city is your favorite?
So, I mean, overall, I start not making my choices what city I like or not from like how they look like. So it's not so important how a city look like. It's more important how the people are in the city.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
People made the city. And overall, I would say just from the appearance, I would say Yazd is like the most beautiful city I know in Iran. It's such a wonderful place. I always describe it as the Rome of Iran, like the Roman Italy is such a beautiful historical place. And Yazd has something very similar to it somehow. It's all the way through very beautiful and has those wonderful mountains and the wonderful desert on the other side. But yeah, for sure, Isfahan was the place I sticked so much with, because I was sticking so much with the people here. I was so fascinated about the people. But we also made wonderful friends in Shiraz and wonderful friends in Dezful. And for example, the temperature in Dezful I liked so much. Like this very dry
It was
heat.
warm.
It was amazing, like standing there in 50 degrees, and it was so wonderful, this experience. But of course, I also enjoyed so much Rasht and Lahijan with its like wonderful landscapes and very juicy plants and forests and waterfalls. It was very, very cool. And also the food, for example, when it comes to food, I would say the north of Iran is such exciting. And he's gardening the plants now.
Yeah, it's fine.
And so, yeah, the food was so fine in the north of Iran. Because I'm a vegetarian, and for me it's much easier to find some vegetarian dishes in the north. And that was very, very cool. And yeah, but overall, here I would say Isfahan is a little bit like home for me. I have all my friends here, I know the place very well, I'm very excited to be here. And I feel really, really comfortable in Isfahan. And Isfahan would probably be also the city I could imagine to live in if I would stay in Isfahan. And yeah. You want to stop her?
Yeah, it's fine. I just come back.
It's fine.
No worries.
Okay. Do you want me to dance now while you're not here in front of the camera? So yeah. Hi. Such a Hamid move, right? Like in the middle of the interview, he's just running down to welcome some strangers and gave him some money somehow. I don't know why. Hamid, do you come? I can finish this alone also. I just ask myself some questions.
So, yeah.
Next.
The next question. What is your favorite food in Iran?
Ooh, that's actually a difficult question. So, in the beginning of my journey, it was a little bit... So, I tried all the meat dishes here, and all of them are very, very delicious. But overall, because in Germany I'm most of the time vegan or vegetarian, I also prefer this kind of cuisines. It was a little bit difficult for me in Isfahan. But then I found the wonderful dish called Gomer Zabzi, and it was so good. And I also like ash so much. It was also a pleasure to eat it. Ash, right?
Yeah,
right.
ash.
Yeah, the soup. It was so delicious. And what I saw yesterday, they cook beetroot. Just beetroot, cut it in pieces with some salt. It's the red root. It grows under the earth in the soil, and you have to cook it. It's so delicious. So this is also very nice. And actually, what is my favorite sweet? I would say Durgushvili.
Yeah, it's fine.
Durgushvili. It's
Durgushvili.
very, very good. Like this kind of yogurt drink, and then those sweet biscuits to it. Wow, it's very, very good. So I found definitely some dishes I like so much here in Isfahan. And yeah, so the food is definitely also something what excites me every single day.